Hi and welcome to KiniTalk. My name is Sumisha Naidu and today we're joined by a very special guest, Dr. Paul Loh, who's the head of Transparency International Malaysia and now a minister in the Prime Minister's Department. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
All right, Dr. Loh, so first congratulations on your position.
Thank you.
And next I have to ask a question that many have been asking. Are you going to be resigning from your position as Transparency International Malaysia's head, or will you be continuing on in that role?
I'll be resigning because the Constitution of Transparency International Malaysia states that where I take on a government position, anyone that takes on a government position, we have to resign purely because of the conflict of interest situation.
And when will that be happening?
That's likely, I'm trying to fix a meeting next Friday to ensure that there is a proper handover to the next person who will succeed me.
All right. Now, let's just talk about what you will be in charge of in your new role. What will be your portfolio?
Well, when I take on this job, which the PM has invited me to help up in nation building, I did tell him that since I come from Transparency International, which is an NGO that has the sole missions of fighting corruption, improving governance and integrity. So that would definitely be the field that I will be in. So when now I'm in government, not when. Now when I'm government, obviously I would like to take on that role to continue with the transformation process that the government has already taken on. Of course, in collaboration with other agencies and also the team like Pemandu,
All right, now obviously there have been some who have greeted your appointment with a bit of cynicism. Some people have said that this is Prime Minister Najib Razak's way of buying out a critic, or it's a PR move to improve the view of the government. Now, what's your response to that?
Well, put it this way, I believe that he is trying his best to transform his government, and he already said in the past he will look for the best talent, and so I just respond. And when I was in Transparency, I was highly critical of the government, and I believe that I shouldn't be just an armchair critic. If I criticize an institution or an agency, and if that institution or agency or even government sincerely approach me to help out, then I have to respond. It's my duty to respond.
But did you, before accepting the position, did you have any stipulations or conditions in terms of maintaining your credibility and your perspective as a corruption watchdog?
Okay, first thing is that I just expressed that this should be more or less my portfolio because I don't want to be in any other portfolio. And as you can see, it's a portfolio that has many challenges, many challenges. I'm not saying the other portfolio is easy, but going in, doing transformation is not something that is everybody will take on.
So what are your hopes? What do you plan on achieving? I know you've only just been appointed, but for now, what do you foresee yourself being able to do, and what are your plans?
Okay, before that I need to say this. I took on the job to become a minister. One is, it's important that I am not misunderstood. Although I'm a Chinese, but I'm not representing the Chinese.
Yes, okay? that is another question.
That's important. I'm not, and neither do I represent any political party at all. I believe I represent my conscience. What I mean, I go in sincerely, trying to help the government, and I would think so that I also represent the aspiration of the people who want to see a transformation take place.
Okay, but what are you going to do as a minister to make sure that the big fish are reeled in? Are you willing to be the bad cop in the situation?
Okay, put it this way. Please remember that when I go there, I'm not controlling agencies like MACC. And we must remember that MACC itself is structured to be independent. It reports to a parliamentary committee, and it has its own oversight panel of advisors and overview committee. So by itself, MACC is independent. Is independent, and what MACC does should be according to the laws of the country, right? So the issue has always been MACC should uphold the law.
But in terms of what you can do as a minister,
well, as a minister, of course, I'm interested in reducing corruption, and if MACC has a has a suggestion that they need more resources, they need to restructure in such a way. Well, as a minister, if I'm approached or if I see it, and if it is within my capacity to influence policy, then I will do so.
Okay.
I'm there. First thing is, this country cannot grow unless its institutions grow in strength and in credibility. So my duty is to make sure these institutions grow and has the capacity to perform the way that it should be.
All right, now one of the questions that we got from one of our viewers, Alvin Yeo, he says, ask the whole cabinet and governmental top positions to declare their assets. So basically the question is, should all ministers declare their assets to the public? Because this is one of Transparency International's major principles. Will you be carrying this on in your position?
I think from what I can see, it's already there. Like for example, as soon as I joined, I already been receiving a asset declaration form to fill in for both myself and my immediate family, you know. So it is already in the process.
But is it to the public though?
Yeah, whether it's to the public or not is a different issue, you know, because if you put it to the public, I think there are the pros and cons as well, right? I think if you put it public, there is also an issue of security of the person who declare. But the main thing is who is monitoring it? Who is monitoring it? And as I said, that the declaration, a copy will be given to MACC.
So what is your position on that then? Are you saying that you think there are pros and cons to it? Or what is your stance? Should you believe that the government should be moving towards declaring their assets publicly?
That has got to be debated. But that has got to be debated as a policy. Right? So I need to get the consensus of the cabinet as well. Right?
But do you personally feel it's something we should be going towards, or you think that it needs to be thought about more?
It needs to be thought of. Actually, I've studied the asset declaration policies of especially Eastern Europe, Hungary, Georgia, and all that, because they are the new economy that comes up. And one of the issues that they raised was some of them have asset declaration made to the public. And one of the impact is that many talented people refuse to come into government. For the simple reason is that they don't agree to expose their family to that to a public scrutiny of their children's asset, you know, or their wealth, you know. Not that they obtain the wealth illegally or anything, but it's just that they feel that why do I need to become a minister and let my children be exposed to security risk? So that's another additional impact, right? So we saw that some of the good ministers or potential ministers just did not want to take on government posts purely because of that. Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying...
So there are two sides.
Okay, so do you think the government, the ministers currently are receptive to this idea, to moving towards this, or...?
Well, that needs to be discussed. But of course, as we go along, I believe we should be more open. Yeah.
Okay, so that's something you're hoping for. All right, now let's talk about the integrity pledge that was signed by Prime Minister Najib Razak. Now, how do you feel your cabinet colleagues have fared in this regard?
First thing is, I understand that it is also in the manifesto of BN, So I believe this is something that I would encourage because it's in the manifesto, and BN is in government. So I would presume, in fact, I would encourage those in the position of responsibility should sign the pledge. Yeah.
But I mean, those who have already signed the pledge, and in terms of how do you think that BN members have that during the election? Some have commented that Transparency International didn't really speak up in terms of some of the integrity transgressions during GE13. Now, what's your response to that?
Okay, first thing is that you must understand that the pledge, and we stated very clear when we implement it, is not for Transparency to enforce. We pledge because we are not in position to enforce or to judge an individual. What we did state is that it's for the public to judge the individual. And actually, on signing the pledge, the person also discloses his Facebook address, his Twitter, his email, and everything, and it's for the public to put their comments in, all right?
But you don't need to enforce, but you can, I mean, as a watchdog body, as Transparency International, you can comment or you can make observations. So if people would like to know whether, in your position carrying this forward, whether you would also be keeping a critical eye on things and raising these issues.
Put it this way, we have to look at a new pledge now, because that pledge was for election. That pledge was for election, But of course, in the case of the previous pledge during campaigning, please remember there are many politicians who should sign, they did not sign. All right, so I think it just shows that we can criticize people, but we don't sign. So I would love to see here. Please remember that I'm not partisan at all, but we need to change the political culture, and we need all politicians to sign if possible. So now, in the new post-election, we could consider political pledge for what you call for example, for member of parliaments, for example,
And is this something, if we could name some tangible things that you want to achieve during your term as minister, is that one of the things you'd implement? So are there certain things that you'd like to put in place?
This is one thing that I need to get it across, that a public declaration is a good thing. I mean, there are several other procedures or other ideas that we have, and we need to look at all options possible. I can't say everything here because I'm only in office for 2 days, and you don't expect me to, although I have my own ideas, but many of the ideas need to have a buy-in because we need to have ownership of it. Fighting corruption is not like just going to McDonald's and then have a quick fix and everything will be fixed, right? You have to deal with existing structure. You have to improve internal control systems. You may have to change some institutional framework, or processes, and you need to make things more transparent, and thirdly, you may have to change the culture, right?
But as much as some people have been critical of your appointment, there's also been people who have been hopeful that, given your experience with Transparency International, you will actually be able to, give people the transparency that they want from government. So in terms of what would your message be to the public in terms of assuring them or telling them what you want to do?
Okay, I need to bring the public attention. Very simple. Okay, let's say if you're critical, I could not achieve anything, then very easy, I don't do anything. And can the public do anything or not? I mean, it's just a decision that is just has no positive suggestion at all. But if I take on, that means I'm willing to try to start somewhere. The measures, my success may be limited, but at least I'm trying. Okay, take for example, all right? You know, when before I became president about 4 or 5 years ago, people said to me, oh, why do you go to become transparency president? You know, this is a dead-end game. You know, corruption is there to exist. It will exist. It's a way of life, and it's a way of business. So please take it, you know. And we don't think you will be able to achieve anything, right? But bring it forward 4 years down the road. The awareness of corruption is much more now. People dare to talk about it, right? I mean, the whole election, one of the key points is about corruption issue, right? So it's a change there, the awareness and the intolerance of corruption.
So you believe that you can change, you can help improve this in your position as in politics?
Yes, I hope so.
So you believe making the transition from an independent watchdog to joining the government will make a difference? Yeah. And you believe Najib Razak is committed to...
Yes, I believe so. I believe so. And one of the advantage that I have here, I suppose, is I don't come with a political agenda, all right? So I'm not worried people going to vote me in or vote me out.
Okay, see, on that note, we do know that in the past you were an MCA member, and I know you want to clarify you are no longer an MCA member?
I'm no more an MCA member.
Okay.
No more MCA member.
But would you say that I mean, one question was by Chris Tai from Facebook asked, what does he think? Was he elected because he is Chinese or because of his position in Transparency International? So basically some people are wondering, are you the Chinese representative in cabinet?
Okay, I'm offered, invited to join the cabinet purely because of my experience and skills coming from Transparency International. I happen to be born a Chinese, and I can't change that. So I do not represent the Chinese. I represent all races. I represent all races, and I am not political at all. I don't represent MCA. I don't represent MCA, and I represent, as I say, I represent everyone who hopes that we can do something. And I've just offered my help to be in the forefront to do it purely because I have vast experience in dealing with the subject.
Okay, now let's go to another viewer question from Jude Nesa Raja. He asks you, are you going to help prosecute Taib based on the Global Witness video on the Sarawak land issue? Because you have on the record called on MACC to investigate that Global Witness video and the issues surrounding that. Now, what's your response to this? Will you be actually pursuing this?
My response to this is all this issue of prosecution doesn't rest with me. I don't have the powers to influence MACC. And neither is it necessary for a minister, you know, even to suggest that. So MACC will have to operate within its own laws, within its own powers, and I hope they will uphold the rule of law, which I believe they will.
How closely will you be working with the MACC?
Well, obviously, I will have a good relationship with them. Because I need, as I say, not in the sense of influencing them, but in the sense of helping them. If I may be able to assist them to make their job better, by all means, yeah.
Okay, now this is another question. In terms of, because you're now joining the government, will you also be working with the opposition in achieving transparency in government and in their coalition and in terms of politics?
I have no problem. You know, when I'm Transparency International, maybe we have not publicized it as we should. I work with the Selangor government. All right. I mean, to be very specific, I work with the state GLCs in Selangor to improve their level of governance. Right. Level of governance. So I work both sides.
Okay.
And quite frankly, if someone asks, can you share with us the tools and measures that's been given that helps to reduce corruption? I have no problem asking my team to share that same knowledge. There's no problem, because we want to improve overall governance in any agency, regardless of their political affiliation.
All right, and just going back to the earlier question about how we were talking about you working with MACC, you said that, I mean, as you will be in charge of anti-corruption and transparency, and that's what you want to focus on. If MACC doesn't perform their job properly, will you be keeping them in line, or what is your responsibility?
Well, they have a oversight body. They have a parliament committee. They'll be the one that oversees them, whether they do their job or not. It's not me. Because please bear in mind, there must be separation between the executive from the enforcement. That's important.
Okay. All right. Now, in the past few days, well, since your appointment has been announced, you have seen that there have been people from the opposition, and even, I think, Transparency International members who have come out and questioned your integrity or how you'd be able to perform. Now, this is your chance now. How would you like to respond and clear the air about some of the things that have been being said or speculated? What's your response to all of that?
Obviously, even among Transparency International Malaysia, we have people with different ideas, different opinions, right? That's quite common. That's quite common. But as the president, I take the responsibility myself and personally to make the decision of what I thought is best for the country, right? I'm not looking, as I say, I'm not looking for financial reward. Neither am I looking for special favor from anybody, and neither am I interested to be a politician. Okay, and so if you look at it, my motive, I believe, is sincere and pure. And I just want to engage and change things. I think the point we must remember is the BN government will still be ruling for the next 5 years, right? So I just feel that the need to work with the government that's in power, if invited, and hope to improve things. Otherwise, what do I do? Continue outside, criticize, or do nothing?
So you truly believe in the power to change from within?
Yeah, I believe in the power to change from within. I believe the power to engage all the stakeholders. You know, I believe the power of persuasion. Rather than just criticize. I believe the power of constructive engagement. This is what I believe. There are many ways of skinning the cat, right?
All right, so with you now in the Prime Minister's department, what kind of Malaysia can we hope to see in the next 5 years?
What type of, sorry?
What type of Malaysia? What type of Malaysia do you envision, and are you hoping to contribute to?
Put it this way. If we don't tackle corruption or put in good governance, I think we can throw away our plan of a higher income economy. Because if you look at the experience of the world economy, the countries that grew to a higher level of standard are always those countries that has got less corruption and cleaner government. There's a direct correlation, like especially Sweden, Norway, Denmark, even Switzerland, all right? Of course, I can't say of Greece, Greece has corruption, so what happened now? Right? So it's almost economically a failed state. Right?
In your conversations with Prime Minister Najib Razak, what has he indicated to you, though? What does he want to do tangibly?
Frankly, he has been very busy, so I can't say that there are a lot of things that I still need to talk to him. Yeah, but I can see he's quite open to suggestion.
Is there anything that you're particularly concerned about that you want to raise in particular with him, or in the next few months?
No, not that I know of. But as I go along, I'm also learning, to be in the government in the civil service, so to speak. So, but as we go along, when problems come up, I'm sure I will bring up to him. And I'm sure he will be open and listen to my suggestions.
Okay, Dr. Law, thank you so much for joining us, and it'll be very interesting to see how having an ex-Transparency International head in the cabinet, what it does for our country and how it helps bring more transparency into the government. So good luck with that, and thank you for joining us, and thank you for watching KiniTalk.
Thank you.